Oh, you aren't even ready, Dragino. This news is beyond huge. This is like giga world-shattering news. I cannot express to you just how unbelievably game-changing everything about this news is. Konami has been hyping up an event that will change Master Duel forever. It will be announced Monday, August 12th. We finally got it. More information coming soon. You hyped up an announcement of an announcement. Like somebody over there genuinely thought, nah, you don't understand. This here is gonna generate so much hype, so much excitement. This will truly change the game forever. Okay, then. We also have Bismuth, as he has been doing for the last couple months now, generating information from all of the various tournaments throughout the community, and giving us a look at the performance of the decks overall, not just isolated. It's just the first and second decks to kind of let you know what's winning, what is making it to the grand finals of tournaments. Star Seraph is very good, but not a dominant tier 1. Rocket's still strong, and Sharks at similar level with Star Seraph. Sky Strikers is just unstoppable, going second. And we have this very nice pie chart, kind of giving us a look at the overall metagame. I think for me, the surprising one was realizing just how well Sky Striker's been actually doing. Like, I knew Sky Striker had been getting some decent tops here and there, but this is like way more than I expected. But yeah, like Star Seraph and Sharks pretty close together, Borrelink only a little bit behind, and then a diversity of decks otherwise. And this will be the meta that we will be expecting for Worlds. So Worlds might actually genuinely be one of the best worlds that we've had in the game's history at this point, assuming this kind of overall diversity holds true. So very excited about that. Will we get a box this month? Probably at the end. Well, yeah, probably at the end of the month. But it won't be legal for Worlds. And then finally, we have received news that Evil Heroes will be receiving new support. Now, why am I talking about this? Because on God, Evil Heroes in Duel Links could use it. And you know we're going to be getting this sooner rather than later. The support is pretty good, I will say. For what the deck is it going to make it like a truly meta deck? In the TCG? No. But any of this stuff coming to Duel Links would be an absolute incredible boost, and in my opinion is kind of in line with the power level of the game for the most part. We're not going to necessarily really go through all of them too much here. I just thought I would highlight a few of them that I particularly liked. So, for example, the Evil Hero Neos Lord requiring a Elemental Hero Neos or a fusion monster that mentions it, plus an effect monster on the field. Must be special summoned with Dark Fusion. If this card is special summoned, or if a monster is sent from your opponent's to your opponent's graveyard while it is on the field, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls. Take control of it. This is pretty good by Duel Links standards, and cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Sticky. And the other one, where is it? Right here. Evil Hero Death Prison. Evil Heroes finally getting the in-archetype rock monster they needed for Evil Hero Gaia. Which is something that they have needed. You can only special summon this with the first effect once per turn. You can only use the second effect once per turn. If you control a fusion monster that must be special summoned with Dark Fusion, you can special this card from your hand. 2. You can send one hero monster from your deck to the graveyard. If you fusion summon a hero monster this turn, this face-up card can be used as a substitute for any one fusion material whose name is mentioned on it, but the other materials must be correct. Pretty good. But yeah, overall, very happy about this support. Evil Heroes were definitely like it. It kind of felt like this was going to be an archetype that just got forgotten. And so every once in a while, Konami does throw a bone to these sort of decks and does release the support. You never know when it's going to come. But it gives hope to anyone who is a fan of any quote-unquote forgotten archetype. Okay. Second, just gonna check on the status of the tournament. Okay. But yeah, besides all that, we did have the Rush Duel Grand Prix yesterday. Was actually a very enjoyable one. as we saw the new decks from the most recent box actually performing compared to, or rather in a way that I think most people did not expect. It does remain to be seen if that is going to be continue going forward, but I think Bismuth, I think he may have also posted Rush Duel performance. Yes. So obviously there aren't as many tournaments to track. And I'm sure there are more, but he posted the results from a couple tournaments recently. And you can see both Psychics and Aqua, in my opinion, overperforming. But Sevens Road and Psychics, Aqua, and Psychics Aqua. I cannot comment on Psychics. My lawyer has advised me not to do so. Will I take back my Psychic slander? No, absolutely not. Still trash. All right. We will be right back. I'm going to go ahead and prepare the tournament for launch, so stick around. We're going to go ahead and get the edges out of the way as well. A few minutes early, but still. We'll be right back. My lawyer is Aesir. Okay. We'll be starting here momentarily, guys. Okay. Hello, Metal Overdrive. Hello, Tinkerbell. Nope. Oh, we're gonna make on God. We're gonna make room at any cost. Got it. Okay, the tournament has begun. Good luck, duelists. Hello, Zeko. If I'm being real, I'm doing just okay. All my willpower to not trauma dump. I had a pretty bad weekend, if I'm being honest. Okay. Okay, tournament has begun. Just waiting for people to start showing up here. Zeko with the 5 gifted. Oh my goodness, dude. Thank you so much. Kim Friend, Dwan, Jules, Jolie, and Shavita Kun. I'm gonna be honest, Zeko. Unfortunately, nothing like that is gonna really help right now. I kind of hesitate to even talk about it because genuinely it's like beyond sad, and I don't really want to be like a downer. But I guess it's kind of worthwhile because it's well, not worthwhile. That's an awful way to put it. I guess story time, and I guess trigger warning for bad stuff happening to an animal. Go ahead and get this match up on the screen. No, not Tinkerbell. My animals are fine. So the TLDR is that on my right. So for those of you that don't know, the way that I get to work, to and from work, is using an e-bike. My work is about 2.5 miles away from where I live. So on an e-bike, it's like like an 11 minute ride, roughly 12 minute, depending on how fast I'm 10 to 12 minute, depending on how fast I go. So yesterday during on my way home Sunday before the Rush Duel Grand Prix, come on Tinkerbell, chill baby. Yes, like from Tron. So on the way home, I was like maybe 3 minutes away from home when a cat darted across the street in front of me, and I was unable to. I tried to get out of the way, and unfortunately, too little, too late, and I ended up hitting it. And unfortunately, it did pass like shortly thereafter. And I immediately stopped. You know, the first words out of my mouth were just like, "Oh God, no, 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 no! That did not just happen. That did not just happen." And you know, I'm riding through a residential neighborhood, so I just start knocking on the houses to doors because I need to. I'm panicking because like, what am I? This is somebody's pet, and I knock on a door, and I can tell like it's still alive at this time, but it's not showing like necessarily. It did not look bad, but it did not look good. And I finally got a hold of somebody, and or got somebody to answer the door, who was one of the neighbors, and the individual knew the cats, knew the neighbor. Soup, if I had to guess, it was internal. It probably had, like, it was a really nasty hit. unfortunately. And so they worked a couple. There was another person walking a dog who happened to notice it. They came and helped. Another neighbor noticed what was going on and they came to help. So the second neighbor started trying to attend to the animal, and the first neighbor was working to try and get in contact with the owners, who unfortunately were not answering at that point. And within about 10 minutes, the animal did end up passing. It was like it was a white, orange, and brown like tabby cat that I learned their name was Nancy. The neighbors graciously took over, like, you know, took the cat who at this point had passed. How old? If I had to guess, maybe a year and a half, 2 years. It looked like a teenager equivalent of a cat. Not a baby, but not like an older cat. And I left my information so that the owner could get in contact with me. And I ended up receiving a text message from the individual, which was actually surprisingly more gracious than I think I would have been in that same moment, even though obviously it's nobody's fault. Oh, these people were wonderful. I like the grace, humility, humanity that I experienced in that moment was I'm incredibly thankful for. But I ended up receiving a message from, because you know, the person, and they said, so my name's Matt. Hello, Matt. I just wanted to let you know that I'm very grateful for your compassion. I'm going to get a new kitten for Ruth, her sister. I think she's flying high with her other fur friends. I buried her in one of my tie-dyes. As I said, thank you. Basically just reaching out to me to let me know that, you know, did not hold anything against me, which is nice, obviously. Because anybody else I could imagine in that scenario, you know, some stranger is responsible for your animal's passing, you know. I could also see it going like, you know, the exact opposite way. The part that's been really difficult for me is just the typical stuff that you think about in moments of tragedy, such as, you know, like, I left my work like 5 minutes later than usual. I know, Kisara, I know. But it literally is like the stuff that is just like the stuff that had to happen to make this happen, to cause this to happen. I left work 5 minutes later than I normally do because I stayed to chat with a coworker for a couple minutes. And then there happened to be a van parked on the side of the road that isn't normally there. And the cat darted out from, like, in front of the van. So you have to keep in mind, I'm going down the road at maybe 20 miles an hour, which is not fast at all. But it literally, like, darted direct, and it couldn't have seen me, I guess, because there was, like, no way to be seen. And it just, like, every little moving piece that had to happen to cause this tragedy to happen, like, and literally just my mind since that day has just been replaying those last few seconds over and over and over and over again. Right, like, I know it's obviously impossible to change the past. The past is what it is, but my head just keeps imagining, what could I have done differently? Could I have swerved a different way? Should I, instead of braking in that moment, should I have sped? Like, what could I have done differently? And, like, again, I apologize. I don't mean for this particular part to be morbid. Like, the force, like, I can still feel, like, the reverberation of the impact as if it just happened to me. And so it's like reliving that moment over and over again. And it's, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I've been lucky through my life to not experience this kind of tragedy. But, yeah. So I do apologize. I don't mean to trauma dump on you guys or to be a downer or glorify, or seem, not glorify, but give light to this stuff. But it's just, I don't know. It feels like one of those things that's just going to take time. And I can intellectually know and understand that. But even so, it's, knowing that doesn't change the feelings in the moment, I guess. But anyways, it made me, when I came home, the worst part of it was too, coming home and knowing that I had a tournament that I had to run, where I had to just be my normal self, ignore all of that, and just pretend like nothing had happened. And so, obviously, some people yesterday, especially towards the end of the stream, kind of noticed that I wasn't quite acting the way I would normally. But, yeah, that was why. So, thank you for coming to my existential TED Talk and letting me just kind of get that off of get that off of my chest. Exactly, Vanilla. Because, like, you know, especially with a tournament in that moment in time, when I do tournaments, my goals have always been, I want this to be a super awesome, poggers, fun time for both the people involved and the people viewing. Like, that's literally the why I do it. And it's just like, you know what? Push it aside for now. Focus on that. But yeah, it can be rough sometimes. Okay, so Super Quant able to build Magnus game 1. Poppy surrendering, knowing that there was nothing they could do in that situation. We are under Dweller now. We got a Tri-Edge Levia, who has the ability to reduce the attack and negate the effects, which will make beating over any of these monsters difficult, especially while we are under Dweller effect. Attempting to pop the Levia here. We're going to go ahead and negate. But why are you working on Sunday? Just the way my schedule works. So my personal work week is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And then I have Tuesday, Wednesday off. It's just pure happenstance. Metal, thank you for the breakdown, my friend. I appreciate you greatly. All right, attempting to rank up our blue layer here using the field spell. We will unfortunately have our turn interrupted by our monster being stolen by Crackdown. Is there anything else we can do here? We are just going to go to battle. Do we even destroy in this situation, though, is the question. No, we're going to go ahead and leave the field clogged, meaning that we cannot get our free Black Ray Lancer quite yet. I do apologize. During that trauma dump, I did miss a couple things here. After Zeko gave out the 5 gifties, we got one from Cyclone. Thank you very much, my dude. Who also then dropped 200 biddies. I appreciate you for that as well. And then Vanilla with the 115 streak, staying ahead of Serena. Thank you so much. Appreciate that insane dedication. And Kisara, I know that you're up there too. Did I see the new Malice archetype? Yes. Yes, I did. So I talked about this in a couple channels, but I can go ahead and reiterate. I think the Malice archetype is cool looking, but is held... Okay, there's a couple things. I'm going to say some nice things about it, and then I'm going to kind of doo-doo on it. Nice thing number one that I'm going to say is that, and this is something that I kind of like really agree with Joshua Schmidt on. They have a trap card that is playable going first and gives you protection from targeted negation, essentially, because you can activate it the turn you set it by popping or banishing one of your monsters, which is actually a good thing. But if you let it sit for a full turn, you get a bonus effect. I think that is phenomenal design for traps going forward. If they were to design more and more traps that have that kind of stipulation where you can use them turn one, or the turn you set them, if you meet a condition of some kind. Like, you don't want it to just be for all traps, but having, if you just did that more in some way where it gave you a benefit for using it turn one, but if you went the full turn two activation, it was a even more powerful effect. I think that could be great. So I really like that design and hope that they do more with that going forward. Obviously, the theming is kind of neat outside of why does everything gotta be cute anime girls? I understand why it's gonna be cute anime girls, but still very good art. The thing that I don't like is they are cybers and they don't lock. And so your end boards, you're going to be playing this really neat Alice in Wonderland themed deck and then end on like Cybers good stuff extra deck monsters. You're going to have your firewalls. You're going to do Splash Mage into Transcode, into Access Code, Update Jammer Access Code is like, woo! Never seen this before. It's like the generic extra deck monster problem of... I don't know. Is it weird of me to feel this way? So, for example, how to put this? I think I'm kind of upset that just more archetypes don't have more in-archetype stuff that you want to go into. So, like, here, an example would be, I have built White Forest IRL, and they, like, purposely built the archetype with, like, 3 in-archetype synchro monsters. And the way that the deck is built, you will want to use all 3 of them. They're all good. They're all 2 of them are combo pieces, and 1 of them is like a disruption. So you will use all 3 of them. But you only need 1 copy each because they can like recycle themselves essentially. So you're left with all these other slots for the generic stuff, right? And so how is it that I can look at a deck like this where I'm making generic synchros like, or doing generic stuff like Crimson Dragon into Crystal Wing, going for Vsauce Amarita or Amaritara, and yet I look at Cyber's piles and it like makes me kind of mad. I don't know. It feels hypocritical in a way, but I think partially that is born from the fact that synchro decks feel like you pick and choose the synchro monster that you're gonna run. Whereas Cyber's decks often feel like every Cyber's deck funnels to the same monsters in the end. Like even though they're both using generic cards, the Cyber's is like there's less generic cards being used. I don't know. It's a weird place to be in that basically means that anytime there's a cool Cyber's deck, it ends up not being as cool. Also, I really, really, really have come to despise the extra deck monster whose entire purpose, who is literally just the "what is my purpose" meme in a nutshell. So, Konami, if you're hearing this, ban Splash Mage, ban Transcode Talker. Don't ask me why, just do it. Those cards are stupid. Why do they exist? Why? No. Why do they exist? They literally exist to say 2 monsters is actually 4. Or not even 4, 5. You know what I don't understand? No. Mew, while you're here, why is it that a card like Simorg, the Link 3 Simorg, has a line of text that says, "You cannot be used as Link material this turn"? Now, keep in mind, the Simorg that you want to leave on the field until the end phase has a line of text that says, "Cannot be used as a Link material." And yet, all these Cyber's extra deck monsters, not a single one of them says can't be used as Link material the turn that it is summoned. Simorg isn't a Link climb deck. I don't understand the argument. like the entire art, like the entire idea that one monster can become like 4 Link 5s, because every Link monsters that isn't a Link 4 or Link 5's entire effect is just summon more stuff. Because Link climb combos are the entire point of the Cybers type. Isn't that the entire point of, like, literally every deck, though? Take a deck like Snake Eyes. Doesn't it essentially Link climb? What is the functional difference between Snake Eyes and Cybers? This is really unfortunate for Cole. Yeah. Triple back row. We literally could do nothing here. Also, mod call. Did we post the proof? Yes. Restart that. Shelmy, you need to check in. You have 1 minute. Norrentino, you need to check in. You have 6. Alright, let's go ahead and find ourselves another match. What we use them for has nothing to do with the intended design of the archetype. Snake Eyes is about utilizing your back row moving to disrupt or extend. Cybers was literally invented for the Link mechanic. Konami had a whole show about how good Cybers monsters are at Link summoning. Well, yes, that was also when they were forcing Link climbing on people. Like, remember, at that point, they literally told people, you have to use Link monsters. It wasn't a choice. It was not a, oh, you can use this if you want to use it. It was, your deck is literally non-functional without Links. So, like, I mean, you know, the only deck I owned at that time was my Harpy deck. Literally unplayable, by the way. Literally unplayable. They did not I don't think they released the Wind. They did not release Bladefly until, like, 3 main sets in, I believe. I want to say it was, no, maybe 4. It was like year 2 of Link summoning before Wind got its generic Link 2. I can't make you like Cybers decks, but equating Simorg. No. I'm not equating Simorg. What I'm saying is that it's wild to me that Simorg, which is literally a Link that you want to leave on the field because of its effect activating in the end phase, randomly has that whole cannot be used as Link material. Yet, you know, God help you in finding any Cyberse card that has that restriction at all. Like, to me, it has always been beyond wild to me that a single Dotscaper can end with, like, what? I don't know, 12 or 15 links worth of material on the field, just because literally every Cyberse monster is just like, yeah, I summon like 2 to 3 links worth of material for free. I don't think there is anything wrong with Splash Mage in terms of, like, Cyberse isn't near best deck status right now. So them having extra tools doesn't bother me. I just don't like giving generic support to an entire category of monsters to the point that their inclusion in a deck is automatic. No need to think, just add the extender thing. It's not the fault of cards like Splash Mage specifically. It's just really bad card design kind of thing. I can agree with that to a degree, in principle. Cyberse decks are usually incredibly restricted into the Cyberse type. Well, I mean, sure, but that's like within the context of links. Is that really, or a Cyberse deck is that actually restrictive? I would argue no, but that's going to be a subjective thing, obviously. Why did he summon Kaina? Wait, are we playing Link Dark Rays? It's to set up the boost of Link Dark Rays. Because it gets a Link in the monster and a Dark in the graveyard. I think the other way that I look at it is that Cyberse feels very, to me personally. Again, I'm not gonna judge you if like whatever your favorite archetype and deck and whatnot is. That's cool. I get it. I ain't judging. But it very much reminds me of specifically Pendulum. How Pendulum is so incredibly difficult to make its own unique thing because, like, literally everything just ends up in the soup. Absolutely just ravaging this board here. Link Dark Rays for the boost. That's going to be 23, 15, almost but not quite lethal here. We can't do anything for our turn, though. We are just going to go for the Hayate. This is going to be direct attack. Eagle Booster will be able to protect us here, and that will be lethal. Imagine if Cyberse decks had access to Appaloosa, SP, or the Borals. Well, first of all, you do have access to Appaloosa and SP. Don't tell me, like, remind me again, IP Masquerena, what typing is she? What type of monster is IP Masquerena? Weird! Cyberse! Extra deck space is a serious issue. Okay, but again, you're just gonna IP into SP on your opponent's turn when you're no longer under the lock. IP into Appaloosa, etc. Like, come on. Alright, Tinker Baby, come on. I know. You are so comfy. Okay. Hello, issue. Oh no, Mew. I'm completely aware. That part was just me being a little facetious, I will admit. Game 2, my game. So the one slightly annoying thing is that I can't tell which crashes are person specific and which ones are because of he who shall not be named. I think it just comes down to how many crashes happen at the same time. Come on, Mizu. Be nice. I don't know if it's just you. Unfortunately, that DC will have to stand. Neo, you need to check in. Norrentino wants me to watch his match. That is, in fact, not an interesting match. What the hell are you doing to me, Norrentino? Literally neither of your matches have been interesting. You should literally never be allowed... Hello, Miyagi. I don't know. I guess at the end of the day, my argument will forever be, I really want archetypes to have an identity that isn't just the main deck. If you have a cool deck with really neat main deck monsters, and then at the end of your combos, your deck is a bunch... if I can't tell what you're playing based on your end field, I think you have failed at designing that deck as a designer. I will stand behind that. If you at bare minimum, I want to see if you have an end board of like 4 monsters, if not one of them is in your own archetype, I think you failed. I want less unique decks. I want every deck to terahertz pass. Okay. Show your game? Sure, stay in the room. Do you think Konami will limit Dweller to 3? No. I don't think Dweller... Like, I think if you are a card that comes in and out of the meta... And... how to put this? I think if you are only a good card because of a moment in time, unless you are oppressive, I don't think you need to be hit, I guess is the way I would put it. Remember when people wanted Darkhold to 3? Well, context matters. The time in which it is being used does matter. Mizu, by the way, are you talking your previous match? Not your current one? Okay. Just stay in your room. We'll enter as soon as we finish this match. They could honestly just take like half a year off normal Yu-Gi-Oh releases and instead only focus on giving old decks different bosses to work towards. I mean, the unfortunate reality is that in Konami's view, that's not... That doesn't benefit them. I mean, you can agree, I can agree, we can all agree that they can do that, but for whatever reason, Konami just doesn't feel like that would be beneficial. All right, Jay with the 2-0. Like, one thing I've wanted to see them do, honestly, is do more archetypical hand traps. If hand traps are going to be the way of the game, I really, 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 really want to see more archetype-specific hand traps. One of the ones that I constantly would give an example of, like, because this was during my I heckin' love Harpies phase, I was like, make a hand trap that's like, it's a Harpy monster that's like, you can reveal it. It's like, it has a normal effect on the field and whatnot. But what is like one of the themes of Harpies? They have this whole mechanic where they want to bounce your opponent's monsters, right? Cyber Slash Harpy, Harpy Dancer, etc. Popping back row, sure. But like, what if they had, and do this for every archetype, give them like themed, interesting hand traps, like, but then you also have to make it work only for that archetype in some way, and also work going first. But it would be like, what if it was like a Harpy that is like, reveal another Harpy monster or another Harpy card in your hand, you can discard it to the graveyard, and then bounce an opponent's monster back to the hand. So like an archetypical hand trap bounce. And it would be like, okay, well, now you have a unique hand trap that can only be played in decks that focus on this strategy and has an effect that's maybe a bit more interesting, as opposed to just like a no style effect. And then just try and go down the line and do that for every archetype. Like, find interesting ways to do you know, hand traps for decks. I don't know. Besides just the generic ones that we have now that they don't like make new ones of because they're afraid of people just jamming even more good stuff hand traps into decks. Dweller has been good for a long time. I don't think it should or will be limited. It's just a way for Ring 4 to keep Graveyard in check. I mean, I understand the arguments for and against stuff like Dweller. People can hate Dweller, and it's entirely justified. I just think that I've always found it interesting because sometimes Dweller is good, and then sometimes you're like, yeah, make Dweller against me. I don't care. Who cares, bro? What even is this hand? What is this game? By the way, are we playing the new skill? Sun Avalon Luxuriant. Any card that says you can't use this and that completely is just trash and lazy design. Where art thou for the Sunseed Shadow? We're going to go Book of Moon here. Get flippin'. I misclicked and... You wanted me to watch your game where you do stuff like misclicking the battle phase. My brother in Christ. Hoon, I apologize if I said your name incorrectly there. I understand where you're coming from, and in principle, I agree. I just think sometimes it is okay. But it is incredibly specific, and there has to be potential counterplay, so I know it is a situation of draw the out, but if you're in a meta where there's a ton of dwellers going around and you're running 20 card decks, why aren't you playing like Forbidden Chalice? Your odds of having a chalice for the dweller are probably pretty high. I find the anti-draw the out argument a little less compelling when it is so much easier to draw the out in something like Duel Links. So we are playing Crossbreed. I'm not sure why in this situation, though. We're going to go for Healer, Needle Sealing to wipe the field. Activating our skill here. To add a Sun Vine, a Sunseed Genus Loci. Goes for the Pot of Avarice here, recycling. Unexpected die. It's almost like we never left. Needle Sealing me? I don't care. Let's do it all over again. Okay. I would probably also surrender in that same scenario because that was absolute BS. Well done, Mizu. Drewy. Gonna be honest, Drewy, every time I see your burb, I kind of just want to steal it. Like, full on, just like actual theft. So people currently not completely abusing the stick chair skill. They are. It's just not... People are playing... People have learned to play around and against it. A lot of the power of Star Seraphs, and don't get me wrong, Star Seraphs is still 100% a tier 1 deck. But a lot of the power early on came from people not knowing how to play against it. People are, one, playing decks that will help them play against it more. We are going to grab the Vector Blast here. Just straight getting rid of our opponent's Vespinato. Kagari is going to go ahead and add the Afterburner back to hand. Crackdown, get yoinking. Afterburner effect. Give me my Kagari back. We're going to go for a Shizuku here. Activates Link Dark Rays. That's going to be 2,300. Adding a copy of Engage and pass back to you. Yeah, well, okay. We're going to go ahead and Afterburner yourself now! Adds a copy of Jamming Waves, which is going to let us go ahead and pop the opponent's other back row. Link, Dark Rays, Baboost. Attack for 23. If that wasn't lethal, we could tag out Babu or attack again. Madara takes game number 1. Uh-oh, guys. I think we might have a small problem that Sky Strikers is actually good. We have a problem, I think. It's not theft if you say oopsies. All right, hold on. We are going to click on the emote. We are going to click Save As. And oopsies. Number 102, Star Seraph Sentry. We're going to go ahead and scale, draw into the Sovereignty, draw, set 3 back row. Okay, in this scenario, I think... Okay, we may end up losing, but the fact that you were able to end on this seems all right with me. We're going to go for Mobilize, Engage, grab the Jamming Waves. We're going to get popping. We're going to get popping. That's okay, though. We're going to take out the other back row, and you have nothing now. We're going to go Ray into Kagari, finding off of the top a Widow Anchor. Wait. So currently, I'm very curious about this. Currently, Star Seraph Sentry has the ability to attack twice because of Seva's skill. It probably doesn't carry over if you steal it, but I'm kind of curious. We're going to go for Engage again, adds the Afterburners. Okay. Okay, dude. Goes for the multi-roll. Afterburners get popping. Widow Anchor get yoinking. 25, 22. Lethal. Engage trauma. Real. Okay, who are we gonna watch next? Guys, I have bad news. There is a lot of Sky Striker. Now I realize smaller tournament, but I'm not ready for this. What's the Master Duel news? They announced that they're making an announcement. That is all. We're about to hit the edges, so I'm gonna go ahead and get them out of the way. When we return, we will have some more matches. Be right back. Oh God, how did we get a poll with ban transcode and splash mage and I did not see it? Thank God people voted correctly and said yes. Hey, Norrentino, can you do me a favor? Cool, shut up. Actually, I'm kind of curious now. Chat. Trauma. Dump your most hated deck / archetype right now. What is my favorite deck? Tri-Brigade. Probably. My most irrational deck hatred is Cubics. I hate them so much. Okay, unironically, Mew. Now, obviously, I can only speak from Duel Link's perspective, but I feel you on that one. Cubics feels like a deck specifically designed by somebody that just hated the concept of joy. Like, it's not like a deck that stumbled its way into being cruel. It was, like, built from the ground up specifically to hate you. So I genuinely feel what you're talking about. Well, let's see. What are some of the answers we got here? Shiranui, Kashtira, You know, Kashtira is interesting in theory, but maybe poor in practice. I actually like a lot of the idea behind Kashtira, which is weird to say because it is a it is a cringe deck, but there's parts that I like. Blue Eyes and Stun, Altergeist, not trauma, just pure hate, sure. Sky Strikers from Cyclone. You know what? Sure. I can see... The thing about Strikers is you will see the writing on the wall. Like, I am going to lose in 4 turns. It's specifically in, like, paper. You would know, this is a game I'm going to lose, but I haven't lost yet, so I have to try. But the simple act of trying just makes you even more angry. I was not a fan of Ojama decks. I hated them so much. Battle Chronicle Blue Eyes, sure. Stun decks in general. I feel like stun decks being a thing are a symptom of a disease within the meta. Fluundereeze. You know, it's kind of sad. Fluundereeze had a really neat concept that just was not executed in a way that... How do... It was neat in theory, triggering in practice. Infernoids and Orchist. Fair. Hero with Needles. I think the thing about Cubics that was annoying was the fact that even when you think you finally have them on the ropes, oops, graveyard effect that you didn't know about. Ubel, it's funny. I've always kind of been okay with Ubel in all the specifically in Duel Links, because Ubel has been meta multiple times in different incarnations. It's actually kind of immunized me from hating the deck maybe as much as I should. Time Lords are up there for me. Hate that characters. Hate that character. He looks so stupid in his vegetable pod. So we don't hate the deck because of what it does. So Laser Shark could like sit across from his opponent like a YCS, and they're like, oh, it's like the world's last polio survivor wants to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And so they're in their like iron lung, sitting across from him with somebody like playing the cards for them as like, you know, as a stand-in, and Laser Shark's just getting throughout the, yeah, there you go. And they're playing something like Gren Maju. Thank you, Mizu. And the entire time, Laser Shark's just getting more and more and more incredibly triggered by just until eventually he just like flips the table. First wave Kashtira had me super interested in it, and then they decided to make it cringe. Actually ruined my Christmas. Okay, if Wave 2 did not actually come out in winter, Vanilla, you will be banned. We need to play Silent Swordsman. Real. I like that Kashtira gave me a Twink and then also a card named Birth. But I don't like that said Twink becomes a borked up walking floodgate that yoinks my stuff. Well, Can't you technically look at pregnancy as a sort of like IRL floodgate? Well, no, like actually think about it. No. Hold up. So, if you were like the type of person that liked going out to like the bar, going to parties, getting drunk, getting blitzed, getting blasted or whatever, especially for the mother, like, you are technically floodgated from being able to do that without like cheating. And then okay. Party bros. Digging out. You know what? Yeah, we're just gonna stop from there.
Duel.
Kind of feel my pet deck TG would beat this with 6 techs as Lance plus CC. Halberd Cannon can negate. Deltaros Arclight negates if you Castel first or if you go bomb, etc. If you don't have Lance anyway, worst case Trident blocks you targeting Cannon if you don't full combo. Going second if you draw a tech. S/T removal or Lance, you can OTK through 3 set often. Okay. Imagine being in your first ever feature match and it's against that polio survivor. You win and everyone hates you for it. Brandon, do you think rockets are better than Unchained? Yes. In the current metagame, I think rockets have an overall better spread against most decks. Like, tier 1, I would probably put Star Seraph and Rocket. Maybe Shark as well. I don't know on that one. Striker rising. I do think Striker is rising, yes. I would put Striker in tier 2 for now until we have more confirmation. I am excited for the KC Cup, then ban list. Remind me when we have Worlds on the 7th and 8th. KC Cup is when? It's got to be after Worlds, but before New World. So it's probably like, what? The week after Worlds? Directly after Worlds. Okay. Will there be a New World? I would, like... Yes? Why wouldn't there be? Again, everything about the new world. I'm curious, what makes a deck tier 1, tier 2, etc.? Are there certain requirements? So, that's a very good question, actually. There are different requirements that people will have for tiered representation, but the easiest and simplest way is if you have a top cut breakdown, your most represented decks are going to be tier 1. The next level of representation is going to be tier 2. The next level after that is going to be tier 3. And then usually after that, it's what we consider rogue. Some people don't even count a tier 3. They say tier 1, tier 2, then rogue. It kind of all depends. But so, for example, if we bring up a pie chart to look at as a comparison. Actually, can we do a better one than this? I think 85 had a better one. A better... Here we go. So take a look at this breakdown, for example. So in a top 32... Oh, nice. This is the one where I had to delete Red Prungo from it. So in this one, the most represented decks are Borrelink, Star Seraph, and Unchained at 7, 6, and 5, with Defleur at 4. Now, there's no exact number where you would say this is tier 1 or tier 2. Like, what the cutoff would be in this sort of chart would be subjective. Like, for example, if I was to just look at this and say, make a tier list based off of this, I'm probably going tier 1 Borrelink and tier 1 Star Seraph. And then, for the sake of making it kind of make sense, I would probably go Unchained and Defleur at tier 2. And then, like, Sharks and Sky Strikers tier 3. And then everything else rogue. And then the way that a meta develops is not based off of one tournament, but a representation of multiple tournaments over time, right? You never want to judge a meta based off one event. You want to judge it off of several. A week's worth, 2 weeks worth. And you want to see which decks are performing consistently and which decks are like a one-off fluke. So, for example, we got an Ogdoadic here. Imagine if this week, randomly, 3 Ogdoadics topped in this tournament. Well, then you could say, well, is Ogdoadic tier 3? Arguably. But if this was the only tournament that you saw Ogdoadic, and every other tournament Ogdoadic was not represented, then you might go, it's probably just a fluke. The definition that, Sean, thank you so much for the raid, dude. The definition that DLM used, and this is like, let me go ahead and grab this. It's like the same definition that every TPC gets when they're inducted into the top player council. Okay, I'm gonna read it to you. This is official DLM representation. How the tier list is generally supposed to work is, okay, tier 0, to be used incredibly sparingly, generally accepted that the tournament consists primarily of the tier 0 deck or direct counters, with over half of the top cut in a competitive tournament represented by the tier 0 deck. Tier 1, expected to be a large percentage of the top cut of a competitive tournament / event. Tier 2, expected to be in the top cut of a competitive tournament or event, but not in high percentage. So an example of that's going to be like, you know that Sharks are going to be, and Sky Striker are going to be represented, but it's only going to be a couple of them. That sort of thing. Tier 3, generally the most tumultuous tier. This is for decks that you can, or that you expect to see and therefore would prepare to face in a competitive tournament or event. If you would heavily consider techs for this matchup in their main or side, consider it tier 3. So basically tier 3 is supposed to be, I don't know if I'm going to face it, but I'm thinking about what do I do if I face it. The odds are more likely that I'm going to play it than not, basically. So hopefully that gives you an idea. Anything that is tiered is completely subjective. We're going to go ahead and attack in here. Shooting Star TGEX, attempting to negate. But we will be negated ourselves. And that will just be lethal. A lot of times what is tiered is just a gut feeling more than anything. And I forgot to have, so that is a 2-1 victory for Jay. Well done. Is there a side deck here? No. Side deck used to be much more common within the Duel Links community, but over time, a lot of tournaments started dropping it to the point that its side deck is almost non-existent. The problem with side deck is that it became too easy to hard counter decks, and it usually benefited, it became too easy to hard counter. Basically, side deck makes sense. Okay, how to put this? Thankfully, Duel Links tends to be in a state where people build their decks to be functional, whether they go first or second, regardless, which means that needing a side deck is less important. Alrighty. We've got Gene at the bottom. We got Kolzak at the top. My brother in Christ, chill! We are going to end up with both of the Sioux ships on the field alongside an Abyss Dweller, activating our overlay network to get one material back to our hand. It's going to be a Sioux ship, a Shari Red, going for a Vespinato, set 1 and pass. Put our opponent under the Dweller. It is Sky Striker, though, so a little less important. We are going to go for the Barrage Blast here, wiping out everything, and we don't get any of the graveyard effects. Go for the overlay network here once again. Adding the Uni to our hand. We're going to summon 1 and 2. and did not realize that Ray was permanently negated. Well, I guess it didn't matter, actually. That activation was a form of protest. -1 said Sue ship not good. I mean, it depends on what your definition of good is. Like, so if I hear something like that from someone like -1, he tends to approach things from like a league focus or a high level tournament focus. I think for something a little more casual, Sue ship is entirely up. Like, I would put it in like tier 3. Like, it is a very viable deck at this point and can absolutely tear through the meta if it gets good hands. I don't know. We're gonna get in for 3,700, leaving our opponent on 300 life points. We're gonna go for a Dweller here. Into a Vespanado. That one back row. I mean, this is kind of like one of those hopeless situations, right? Effect Veiler to negate the Hayate. We're gonna Barrage Blast. We're gonna Widow Anchor Yoink. And now we just die to either of these monsters on the field. He's using his influence to psych out the competition. Real! Mark my words. -1 will be playing Sue ship at Worlds. Duel. Excited for this month's new Chronicle World announcement with customizable characters. Yo! Alright, guys. Here we go. In Chronicle World, you will be able to build using a newly introduced character Duel Links NPC generator. You're going to be able to put in you'll be able to choose your own not voice lines, but like you can assign a character's voice lines to it, one of the NPC voice lines. You'll be able to choose different outfits, faces, hairstyles, etc. And you'll also be able to choose 10 different generic skills to put on your character. Let's go. We're gonna basically make Maiden of the Aqua. Yes, pretty much. Yes! You will be able to record your own voice lines that you can play during the duel, and your opponent will hear them even if they have voice lines off. Nothing will go wrong. Gonna go for the Uni here. MST, force out the Widow Anchor. We can negate here. You will yoink nothing. I have a few voice lines I'd like to use. Yeah, what are those, BMAT? What voice lines would you like to use? We are going to modulate to level 5. Come forth, Chronomaly V-Mana. Step 1, we go to battle. Norrentino, if you give me your 7 TV name, I can just add you, and you can add it. White Princess! Get reducing. We're gonna go for the Ray effect here, likely gonna negate. Jay, it's either top 8 or top 4, I can't remember. I think it's top 8. Actually, I can verify by checking, because these tournaments tend to be the same size. What do we top deck, by the way? Field Spell. It is top 4. Okay. So we are going to go for the negate of Kagari here, stopping our opponent from being able to get back one of our critical spells. In this situation, for example, we could have grabbed an Engage into, or just grab the Afterburners if we're not playing another copy. Start trying to tear apart our opponent's board. Are you a Shadow Duelist? Tell me. Do not ask questions that you don't want to know the answer to. Oh no! Say goodbye to your reduction! Gene will take it. Shadow Duelist event gets saved if it's decayed. No cap. Could you imagine? We have decided to put aside our differences and team up! Alrighty. We're going to get the next match started. Then I am going to be a terrible streamer and take a quick moment break because my package has arrived and I want to go get it. Be right back.
Duel.
Okay. Um... Well, we're gonna give Madara a few moments. I think they might have... Yo, keep it simple. Thank you so much for the resub, my dude. That's very kind of you. They are also not in chat on Start GG and are not here. So I think they may have hard DC'd. We'll give them a few more moments out of understanding that they might have had some kind of IRL issue. But unfortunately, the time loss is time loss. But yes, keep it simple. Thank you very much, my dude. I appreciate you. They ruined the Shadow Duelist event by hyping it as a thing that will change Master Duel forever. Yeah, it's kind of bizarre. Like, why hype it up like it's a game? Like, an announcement that you would do is like, we are bringing a permanent Edison format ladder. That is something that you blow, or like of that nature or something. Something that fundamentally changes the way that people can play your event. Or, you know, draft format. I mean, that also... Sure, anything that fundamentally changes the way you engage with the game. Like a random promotional whatever is not going to change the way you change the game or play the game. I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't even have to be like that, PTRG. Like, you know, they could announce something where they're like, we are going to start up an Edison format, but then slowly introduce new cards to it and create like a new timeline where we will avoid the pitfalls of the modern Yu-Gi-Oh game. So then basically they could quote unquote Duel Links it by having a new meta that people would engage with. That would also be, you know, a game changer. That would mean Konami admitting they effed up, though. I don't necessarily think so. We're gonna go Gravity Axe Grarl here. Hopping ourselves so that we can summon the Unchained Soul. Take out our opponent's Gearfried, which no longer has a negate, and then we will get the concession scoop. Game 1 goes to Juninho. I am like endlessly fascinated by the idea of trying to do a meta over again. Like, one of the things that's been awesome to experiencing in Duel Links is an entirely new meta. Same cards, obviously skills are involved too, but introduced in a different way to create a different metagame. It's like if you were on the design team for a Yu-Gi-Oh! 2, essentially, not like starting over all the way back, but if you used like Edison as a starting point, and then you got to decide what cards do you now include in sets moving forward in a branch timeline. Here's regular Yu-Gi-Oh! And where we have ended up in. Here's the branch timeline where you get to put out archetypes that are out of time, for example. Like, imagine you release War Rock significantly earlier. Do you end up in a situation where War Rock is legitimately a meta contender, right? You know? Like, getting to do that kind of stuff would be, like, so fun and fascinating, I think. And, like, literally the only argument against it is we don't want to... Well, one, they're probably scared because of, they're probably scared because of the reception of speed duels. And they're also scared of, taking the focus away from the main format. You get the... Excuse me? Is that a prismatic Immortal Phoenix Gearfried? Summoning to the board. How many structure decks? One back row. We will resolve Astolfo here. Not box or structure cards. I pulled 3 Royal Rescue Hedgehog and a Royal Appo. Not sure if I'm having a good or bad week. We are going to force out the back row here. It's likely going to lead to a float regardless. Like, we should know what the... Was that wise? We will resummon the Unchained Soul of Disaster. And that's just going to be lethal. Jay takes game number 2. Are any of the new evil hero cards good? Define good. By like modern TCG standards? No. By like dueling standards? Like, yes. They're pretty decent IMO. Yeah, tell me what they're going to do against like a Snake Eyes board. I granted a win to Okay. What's my favorite hero archetype? I mean, I'm not really a hero player, if I'm being honest. I kind of think they're all bad.
Duel.
See, the problem with heroes is they kind of don't feel like they have like a coherent identity. Like, the best you can say about Hero is what? That they're like the original version of Cybers? I mean, this... Okay, how about this? Hero is Floodgate Turbo. I mean, that's what they became, which is unfortunate. But you gotta do what you gotta do to win, I guess. Yeah, they just... Like, if I was to ask you right now, describe heroes, what would it be? Like, how do you describe heroes as an archetype? Fusion deck. I mean, technically not wrong. We are going to attempt to avoid the pop here by linking off with our opponent's Necrofluor. We will still summon the Sage, but we will stop our opponent from getting the additional value off of the Necrofluor. Yeah, like, again, everybody's trying to explain is just like, spam fusions, Floodgate Turbo, Fusion Link Deck, Nib Token Turbo, yes. Haha, funny meme. But, like, I don't know, man, they don't have an identity, they don't have, like, a real identity. Like, you had the Neo-Spatians whose identity was we like want to self-delete ourselves, which was always kind of a weird one. You have, like, I guess the most coherent theme, not even coherent, like evil heroes have the theme of being bad. I guess. Neospace equals contact fusion support. Well, yeah, but, like, explain the whole, like, self-delete yourself now effect of every Neospatian fusion. Like, why did that need to exist? Why was the Supreme King evil anyways? It was like the... Well, there's two ways to describe it. One, I have given in to the darkness in my heart. But if you were to ask me to, like, come up with, like, an actual plausible explanation, it would be... somebody who is living out the ideal that might makes right, power is the correct way, authoritarianism, like, rule with an iron fist type stuff. We are going to get to use our Haster effect here. Get yoink. Actually, wait, no? Oh, yeah, we stole the Aruha. Going for a Flame Swordsman here. Boosting Charles up to 4K. How about Destiny Heroes? Still no theme. They all just kind of have no theme. All right. Breaking our opponent's board. We're able to go for lethal 35, 29. Well done, Jay. Well, no, we're talking about theming, right? And, like, Destiny Heroes effects themselves are all over the place. You have special summon from hand. You have special summon from grave, or grave that gets from deck. You have draw cards. You have activate spell effects without doing the cost. You have banish a monster temporarily. Like, its effects are all over the place. Hmm. All right, 1 second, guys. Okay. Hello, ICU. Good to see you, my friend. Masked heroes have a theme with mask change. I mean, sure. They do have a bit more theming going on, but if only barely. All right. Jean, Bismuth, and Norrentino. Jean. Oh my god, there's a billion Jeans. Which one is it? I love when I can't ping you because you don't have your Discord ID. Jay, it's fine regardless. We understand if real life comes up. Thank you, Norrentino. Okay. Okay, we got our first match just about ready to go. Alrighty, we are now in the top 4.
Duel.
We got Sharks versus whatever the hell Norrentino's on. On the other side of the bracket, we have Suship and Infernoble. We're going to go for Effect Veiler. Negate. The left-hand shark. You will not become level 4. I don't think I actually ever showed the top cut breakdown, by the way. We do have it as a command, but I can go ahead and show it on screen real quick like. I can neither confirm nor deny, Shelmy. So in today's tournament, we had 7 Star Seraph, 4 Sky Striker, 3 Boral, 3 Suship, 3 Unchained, 2 Blue Eyes, 2 Infernoble, 2 Shark, 2 Sun Avalon, 2 Tech Genus, 1 S-Force, 1 Super Quant, and 1 Tachyon. You're already elite in the event. You're talking about the Turbo Duel. Ah, yes. Let's say wow to the deck that probably lost round 1. I am so excited by the possibility space that exists within I can enter a tournament with any deck. All right, triple back row here. That's rough. On top of that, we do have Rafflesia, so we will be able to use one of our holes to try and stop Norrentino. Forbidden Droplet. Negate. Sovereignty effect. He's going to stop him with one of his holes. His hole trap cards. Like what? We are going to go for our Deltaros. Get poppin', taking out the Rafflesia. Drawing a card. With our priority, we're going to get poppin' again. Force out that back row. It is a Forbidden Lance. Reduce. Using our skill, we're going to go scale into Sage. Looks like we did not have another Star Seraph in our hand. We will go for Castel. Castel gets spinning. And then that's just going to be lethal. Will Dumont be back before KC Cup? Probably not. But I think there's a character ticket you can earn, which should be able to unlock him. In lifetime missions. Or not lifetime. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this ticket can get him. So complete the mission, get the ticket, and you should be able to unlock him. Game 2. What's the best deck for the event? I think it's going to be subjective, but I think it was Hans who posted a 1-card Infernoble board. Was it Hans? Yeah. Okay. So we put our opponent under the Abyss Dweller. So we are once again unable to make a play with our left-hand shark because we did not summon it from the graveyard. So what are we going to do? Oh my Jesus, ICU helping us reach our goal. Thank you so much, my dude. That is 6 gifted. Phantom Genesis, Reign of 11, Sakadetsu, Girin, NT James, and Vicarian. I really do appreciate you, bro. Thank you. We're going to wipe out our opponent's board here. We are facing down 3 back row, though. I mean, Jay, you had a match that you just DQ'd. So if you won that match, had you played, you would face whoever wins here in the finals. Yeah, so you made it to top 4, which is the where you're in the money and where your deck gets posted. Technically also makes you are now technically TPC eligible. So we are going to go for Vespinato here. Grabbing the Scepter, which will give us lethal damage, assuming those back row do nothing. And sure enough, the back row does nothing! Norrentino will win it in a 2-0 victory, moving on to the grand finals. I'd have to look at the numbers again, Hans. I think it's treated like the Meta Freakly, though. If I remember correctly. Alrighty. Should be just a few before we have the finals up and ready to go. Good luck, Jay. You're gonna nail it. It'll be the easiest clap of your life. Just go in there. You're gonna full combo, stun lock your opponent into doing nothing except conceding to your employment. Alrighty. While both duelists get ready, I do want to take this opportunity. Hell no, Jay. I want to take this opportunity to remind people this week will be different. Wednesday at 2 p.m. EST, which is normally the Duel Links Grand Prix, will instead be the Starry Cat, hosted by Giran. I want you guys to be sure to head on over to his channel on that day and hang out there like you would for the Grand Prix. I will be there. In its place, I will be hosting a single elim on Friday during the normal Starry Cat time instead. It's only for this week, just this week. But I would love for us to make the Starry Cat tournament as big as possible. I will also be participating in that particular event. There is no cap. I gotta do it for my boy. Cyclone. This is my boy Giran. Will I play Starry Night? No, because I want to win. Alrighty, we got Gene versus Norrentino in the grand finals. This is going to be Sue Ship versus Star Seraph. We're going to go Effect Veiler, negate. You will not modulate your level. That's okay, though. We're going to summon out our Ikura. Go for the Dreadnought here. Drawing another card. Go for the Vespinato. Set 1. Pass the turn. Oh, come on now, I see you. Stu Ship is not a fraud. Show respect. All right, Reign of 11. Look. I feel like that's a bridge too far. I like Starry Night. It just needs it needs Starry Night so badly. Oh my lord, it needs it so bad. Just give them the card, Konami. We could be implying that we are on Barrage Blast here. The same amount as normal, Shui. $34. For the Meta Weekly, between 30 and 40 currently. We are gonna wipe the entire field. Exiton Knight taking everything. We will get one revive off of the Vespinato float, however. What are we going to do next? Activates our skill here. We're going to go with the Scepter. We're going to set 1, set 2. And pass the turn. Are you talking about when we did the tournament mode? Shari Red, revealing Shari Red in the hand. We're going to go and special summon. Norrentino, did you forget that you could have activated your effect again? Come forth, Uni. Get drawn. Effect Veiler. Negate. Do not draw. We're going to activate our Uni here. Yeah, no, I enjoyed the I genuinely enjoyed that tournament mode. I will be trying to do more with it in the future. I've given some thought to trying to host, like, depending on turnout for our Rush Duel tournaments, I might try using the tournament mode for it. I haven't decided. It kind of seems like perfectly suited for it. Activates the treacherous trap hole here during the main phase when Uni can negate it. Wait. Oh, we were already negated. Never mind. Mega Tournament, Grand Prix, 10-round Swiss, and top 32. No. Our tournament already is at, like, the limits of acceptability and length. The fact that so many people are willing to stick around for, like, a 6.5-hour tournament is already impressive enough. I will never push it beyond that. Yes, it is inhumane. You'd have to, like, start it at, like, 9 a.m. Eastern. So, Tomato, it's actually funny you mentioned that. There have been tournament series that operate like that. Hello, Chaotic Chibi. Thank you so much for the raid. How are you feeling? I remember last time, yesterday when we chatted, you were feeling a little nauseous or something. You feeling better? Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. So there have been tournament series in the past that I believe they usually, like, a common name is like Takeout Tournament. And the idea is that the tournament is broken up into, each round is like on a different day. So on the first day, you and your opponent schedule your match whenever. And then you'll play it, report your score. Then the next day, whoever wins, they will play another person on that day, etc. The idea behind it was to allow people from widely disparate time zones to be able to play a tournament over. That's how we do online Modern Rush events. Oh, okay. Well, that's very okay. I'm glad. So you are obviously aware of it. Perfect. Yeah. All right. Norrentino takes game number 1. Out of curiosity, how, Tomato, this is a bit of a tangent for everyone else, but I want to satisfy my own curiosity. How often do modern online Rush events happen? Norrentino's going to be going first this time. They used to be every other week on a few different servers, but they are a bit more scarce these days. Unfortunate. Those things do happen, unfortunately. Double sovereignty here. We're going to draw 2 additional cards. Must be nice. We can go for a 3 material rank 4 play. One of the bigger servers does about once a month, but does gimmick months events in between. Interesting. Goes for the evil swarm, Ouroboros. Activate your effect. Get ripping. I just got that lifetime ticket and it doesn't have Dumon. Konami, come on, right? Come on now. You literally had the opportunity to do a really great thing. Who literally expected something from Konami's announcement today? I'll be honest with you. I both did and didn't. Like, should you ever expect... I mean, okay, but here's the thing. If you're hyping it up like it's going to be the next biggest thing and going to change your game forever, like, come on. How do you not, like, okay. Whoa. What was the Konami announcement? An announcement of an announcement that they're going to be doing some kind of, like, ARG style event, I guess. Who is the mysterious duelist? Apparently it's going to be like a celebrity duelist who is masquerading as a secret, secret masked duelist. Mystical space. Oh my god. Is this hand rip actually going to end up, like, impactful? Holy crap, no way. Bro. Okay. Oh, wait. If that's exactly a level 4. Oh my Jesus, we can actually play the game. Normal summon Gunkin Su Ship Shari. Going for an Ikura here. Get drawing. This celebrity sweepstake will change. Wait, hold. We are going to go for Vespinato here. It's all Jover, folks. We're gonna flip. Flip. Why use book? A good question. Oh, I think it was because, so it was probably a misplay. I think the concern was Norrentino having Barrage Blast, but you were just going to pop the back row anyways, so... B-Matt, I thought you don't lose. I thought you go like 8-1. How could you lose, bro? Dog, there ain't no way. Dog, there ain't no way. Dog, there ain't no way. Where's... Electing to not go for Castell here. Do we live? No. We're dead anyways. Turns off the graveyard. We are gonna crash. I get to float, but you do not. Adds a copy of Scale to hand, but it don't matter. 18, 18, 17, and lethal. That will be a W under forever last place, Norrentino. He had Valor. Damn, the reeds, though. The reeds! On this day, humanity got a reminder that glue still reigns supreme. Congratulations to both duelists. Well done. Unchained still farmed most... yeah, Seraph did not perform well. Oh, well, not... There was, what, 1 in the top 16? But that could have also just been unique to that particular tournament. You know, sometimes in a tournament, one deck or another will not perform. It happens. Alrighty, everyone. Can we raid Shy Lily? How do you know that I follow her? Show your very ultra spicy list. It'll be on the website shortly. Alrighty, guys. We will probably stream tomorrow. I want to try and finish off Rush Dual Cog and then start working on my Speed Dual Cog. So, expect me to go live usual time tomorrow. When you show your Twitch screen, she appears in your following. Yeah, what about it? I ain't afraid to admit it. I'll tell you right now who's on my online list. Right now we've got Shy Lily, we got Hasanabi, we got Captain Chia, we got Rarin, we got Beetle987, we got Flats, we got Mr. Coffee, we got head-to-head battles, we've got Nesh TCG, we got Nifroth. Oh, sure. I technically follow Colby. I won't lie. I actually followed Colby for the memes. Don't let him know, though. How would I not follow Nif? He literally comes here sometimes. Get mad, Laser Shark. Get mad. That's right. All right, but yes, tomorrow we're gonna do some ladder stuff. It will be rushed to start. Probably gonna play Psychic, and then afterwards it'll probably be Speed Duel stuff. Well, not probably. Once we hit Rush Cog, we're gonna start working on Speed Cog. Looks like our boy K-Rock is on live. We'll give him some love. What am I going to use in speed? I'll probably try and learn Infernoble. How to not suck at it. Do you play GTA? B-Matt, what the hell kind of question is that for literally we're ending the stream? No, I don't play GTA. Why the hell would you think that, my dude? Alright, later guys.